Hey, remember that elevator we got on? Yeah.
That's not how elevators work, Square.
I don't even... Ah, whatever.
You can ride that back too, right?
I think?
Oh yeah, you just get in it and it starts spinning up. So yeah, this place has really got this whole atmosphere going with the music and everything. By the way, this music has English lyrics and there is an official transcription available. Let's see if you agree with it. Well, I don't know about you guys, but I think that was pretty spot on.
Absolutely.
Definitely.
I thought the Shore of Sand part was especially clear and indisputable.
So yeah, this is Erba.
It is.
It's a little rundown from how Fang and Vanille described it.
Dilapidated.
Although, I mean, I get the trees are here. They're not lying. The nature abound, right?
Yes. There is that.
And from what I remember, you don't really see it from the video links, but this place takes forever when you're actually playing it, right?
Oh god, yeah.
None of these fights are particularly hard. There's just a lot of them.
Yeah, there are seats everywhere.
So yeah, that's a good sign. I think Erba did very well, as you can tell by the Seath that are just swarming this place.
Yeah.
Also, what the hell is with those trees? It's like they're like little wires all put together. I don't think I'm gonna look at it again though. But it's just, oh yeah, I am. It's hard to see there, but
Yeah.
that's weird.
So yeah, the place is, as there's this attempt at, I'm gonna describe it as atmospheric, sort of bittersweet kind of music.
Which is your house?
But you will get real
What do you mean
fucking
which
sick of it
house? All of them.
when you play through.
They're all.
Yeah, there's no battle music in this area. It's all
Everyone in the village
like
lived
dust to
together.
dust, just constantly
One big happy
plays.
family? One
Yeah,
heck of a lot of places
usually
to
I
go
like
hat.
those areas when the game does that.
So, basically, the impression I'm getting here is that these guys are a bunch of communists.
That's not a wholly inaccurate way of describing how Erba works, if the data log is to be believed.
Well, who are we to argue with the sacred data log? I mean, like, that surely will override authoritatively anything actually presented in the video game part of this production.
Clearly.
So, you want to take a look around?
No.
Gotta find something to help us lose these brands.
That's not the only reason.
Okay, and
why
I'll
you
I'll
finally-
grant the game this
The most
point here, is that, yes, they are obviously stretching at this point. Like, I don't know what the hell they think they're going to accomplish here, but at the very least the game does kind of correctly pick up on the fact that they are being futile. And hey, it almost achieves that kind of unique video game dissonance that good video games manage to capture sometimes.
Yeah, there's a bunch of little things you can examine all around town. Most of them are some variation on this must be how it was like, during, when people actually lived here, or this machine's totally busted now. But, I mean, it's a nice little touch. There's a lot of stuff here. Also, these are hands.
Yeah, they are hands attached to spheres. So yeah,
I mean, compared to a lot of other areas in the game, it actually seems like there was some thought put behind the design of this one.
it was almost definitely one of the places that was actually like somebody knew what they were doing, as in this place had obviously been nailed down a bit earlier for its place in the plot. You can tell because the environment has something to do with the plot. Sort of. Well, maybe they just got really lucky and they just happened to have the exact kind of place that the plot they were writing called for.
Who knows, really?
So, Vanille was saying about how everybody owns, it's everybody's place, but, that's really not true. This is Vanille's house.
Well, okay then, that was really specifically undermined.
Betty!
Friend of yours?
That is a robot.
That is,
You're
indeed,
okay.
a robot.
I was worried.
He wanted to say goodbye.
He's not ready for the scrap heap just yet. Bit worse for wear, yeah. Nothing I can't fix.
Okay then.
Just need to track us down some parts.
So yeah, there's a little side quest here in Ereba. There are 5 parts scattered around the village, and if we collect them, we can fix Bhakti for Vanille. And it is very, very much worth doing.
Oh god, yes. It's just a shame about, the banal fetch quest design. Really, this whole thing is like a much more obnoxious version of something like the scan visor. Only, not actually in any way integrated into the gameplay mechanics.
Yeah, I kinda see what you mean.
It's an actual thing that you can do in video games, that you can take something, you can just have something that's as transparent as a thing that you point at stuff and it tells you things about the stuff. But it works because you are essentially integrating exposition into gameplay mechanics. And it's that easy to not make this stuff jarring. Alternatively, you can have an examine prompt that pops up the same kind of text box used for system messages, and dump your exposition in there. I don't know, one of those methods sounds a lot easier than the other. I almost think it's mean to talk about, actual game design issues over Final Fantasy XIII. Do you think we're being mean?
I mean, in a way, but on the other hand, it's Final Fantasy XIII.
Yeah. Yeah, we know Final Fantasy XIII deserves all the shit that it gets, which is quite a lot of shit, because it's very deserving. Also, I can't actually remember how obnoxiously scattered around all the parts are.
It's not very. Aside from that one you have to go back and fight that Vitala for, everything's pretty much right on your path. Also, this area is very pretty.
Yeah? Like the wind farms. They're a nice touch. Again, I don't know if this was deliberate or just accidental, but there's a little detail on the environment that tells you something about the place and the people and the society, and holy shit, it's a detail! I've almost forgotten what those look like.
So this particular vampire is important, because he is holding one of the parts for Bhakti.
Oh, I was wondering why I didn't cut this out.
Yeah, well, he's special. But, you know, of course they are able to tie something to a battle drop.
No, it's not a drop. You just straight up get it.
I mean, okay, yes, it's not like he doesn't drop it in the same way that he might drop a credit chip or something, but it's still there's a little bit of code that says when you finish the battle, it puts this thing in your inventory, just like when you get things from certain hunts. Also, that is rather a lot of lizards. And it's actually playing the music. Wow, the frame rate on that held up impressively well. I mean,
Yeah, this is very satisfying.
I was expecting that to lag all to shit. Oh, I don't know about anyone else. I'd have found it more satisfying if it actually makes it lag.
Just draw out that explosion as long as possible.
I don't know. There's times when you can wade into a group of enemies and hit them with something that's big and make so many particles appear that the frame rate drops. It's like I always remember Ninja Gaiden 2, and this is great because there's not a lot that I actually like about Ninja Gaiden 2, but I did like this. Being a Japanese character action game, it holds up at 60 frames a second or whatever. I don't know if it's 60 or 30, but it keeps a constant frame rate throughout. And it's very pleased about this. But there's this one area where you get completely crowded. Like I'm talking like Dead Rising levels of crowded with weak enemies, and you have a couple of magic spells that hit an area around you and can deal damage and dismember people on Ninja Gaiden stuff. You start using these in this crowd, and it literally halves the frame rate and starts playing in slow motion to keep up, because it's one of those kinds of games where all the physics and stuff is rendered per frame. So when you start lagging the frame rate, the game plays at half speed. And that felt pretty cool. So that's the kind of effect that I'm going for here.
I do like the little abandoned schoolhouse here. This is probably one of my favorite little areas here.
I think it's really nice that they put the Moogle doll in a treasure sphere instead of leaving it on a desk or something. It really drives home the idea of these items being actual items. That was a joke, by the way. Okay, maybe it wasn't actually that funny. But yeah. But it's what we keep saying, is that this place is pretty much the closest that 13 comes to actually pulling off environmental storytelling. And as grating as this fucking music is, I can kind of respect it for that. We always did claim that we were going to try and be fair in our assessment of Final Fantasy XIII, even given my absolute seething hatred for it. So here's me actually giving it praise where it's due. Here, on the other hand, is a featureless grey room full of generic enemies.
Yeah, in general, I really like this area. It's nice.
It manages to, accomplish its purpose for about 10-20 minutes. But, you're a fool if you don't believe that the game is going to make you come back here and do a whole load of hunts while you walk around.
There's really only a couple hunts in Urba, actually, from what I remember. I mean, there are a couple. Don't get me wrong, there are a few you will have to come back for, but there's not that many. Anyway, that was the last part we need for Bhakti, so let's go back and fix him.
I bet we're going to get a really entertaining cutscene for this.
Well, it's playing the silly cutscene music, so...
Hey, hey, look who's back.
Oh, Bhakti, thank goodness.
Whew. You're a lifesaver, Saz.
Nah, it was just a quick tune-up. Don't mention it.
Wally, this ain't.
Not quite.
Alright, so once you fix him, you need to go talk to him to get some good shit. So, you get ranked based on how many steps you have taken on Pulse. And I believe the number is 10,000 to get the best reward, which is what we have right here. Including, among other things, 3 platinum ingots, which sell for a combined 450,000 gil.
Hell yeah.
Like, unless you are going to explicitly go and do, like, the post-game weapon grind, that will cover you for the entire rest of the game and then some.
We also got some ultra-compact reactors. And those are something you're going to be getting very familiar with if you're weak to achievements and trophies like I am. Oh, I'd almost forgotten that.
Yeah, I recommend not doing that.
Yeah. Well, I was lucky in that I eventually figured out that the correct answer was to employ money hacks and not actually play the game by its own rules. One of my favourite sound bites about this is that if you actually do the endgame achievement grind legit, then that's it, you've lost. The game has beaten you in a way that you can't take back. It's like when you get one of those 0-point achievements in fighting games for losing a bunch of fights. It's just a blemish on your record that will never go away. You can never beat the game again once you've done that.
Then we have some more fun with these flying guys who have a little bit of trouble finding us.
That's some great pathing.
Or hit detection.
I think they're intended to chase you, because if you do like keep running, it's much easier for them to catch you. But like if you just stand there, they just don't know what the fuck to do.
Well, it looks like this is the end of the bridge.
This is it. At the top of that hill is the boss of Chapter 11.
Can't wait.